Hello, good morning. Good morning and guten morgen and bienvenido and other words that mean hello. That's right. We're still loading the chat. Welcome to the Mega Church of Joy. How are you today? Good morning. The chat is broken. Why is the chat broken? We'll never know, or will we? Now you get fixed, you chat. What do I do? Oh my gosh, what do I even do? If I can't see the chats, I'm screwed, dude. As they say on The Wire, or at least that one, what is he, a state senator says? Shit. Good morning, guten tag, hasta luego. Did you know that fear is the gym of the soul? Fear is the Pilates of the spirit. And fear is the CrossFit of our minds. A lot of the times we don't want to go to the gym. We don't want to work out. Gosh, I started the year working out a lot. I went to the gym 15 times in 1 month. I mean, that means every other day. It didn't feel like that. It seems kind of crazy. But I did. And then in February, I have done little to no. See, oh no. The chat. Hold on. I got to fix the chat. What do I do? Because I see your chat, but I can't see it because it's so tiny on my little OBS screen. Of course, I'm in a hot tub by the sea. I'm not actually using OBS. But actually, I am. So let me just look at the docs. Let me go chat. Come on now. Get in there. Yes. All right. Could you retype what you said? Could you retype what you said, please? Because I couldn't see it. And I'm grateful for your chat and your engagement and your connection. Because we are here at the gym today, the Gym of Joy, the Joy Gym. I just made that up. I'm going to write it down. Hell yeah. The Joy Gym. You got to make it relatable to people, and people like to work out. And, right-leaning thinkers in our country had their brains hacked by gym bros. Sorry, at least the young man did. And we need to help our young men, and that's why we're here. Good vibes indeed. Good vibes. Well, you know what? It's against the tenets of the Mega Church of Joy to say good vibes only. I mean, the number one rule is don't be a dick. But so now, if the number one rule is don't be a dick, does that necessarily mean good vibes only? I don't know, because sometimes bad vibes, I mean, it's okay to have bad vibes, right? Because if you come to me and us here at the Mega Church of Joy and you want to process your fear and you want to go into the gym and can't have good vibes. These new members of the Mega Church of Joy, these teammates, so far we call each other teammates. And I think that's nice and swell, because when you're on a team, you don't always have to agree, right? You don't even have to have the same interests. Oftentimes you're placed on an improv team at a house team at a theater, and you might have nothing in common except for the two of you on a team of 7 to 8 people. You are committed to creating quality improv and training yourself to work on your relationship with fear. Okay, I'm rambling. And that's okay. Welcome. Good morning. I want to codify the show a little bit more, because when you go to church, I used to have programs. Hold on. Will you be able to see this? Look at this. Oh no. Look at this. I did this show for real, and I had, oh my God. How is it working? It's not working. Ugh. Anyway, I had programs. Here's the symbol. You can kind of see the symbol? No, you can't. What do we do? Green screens, they work really well. Swallowed by the Ocean, the Rev Deuce Hansberry story. Film at 11. And Talkback at midnight. Now, welcome. Let's do the Daily Dose. We want to codify the show. We want to codify the experience that people have when they come here. Maybe we end up later doing the Daily Dose at a later time. Welcome, Big Nick, because it's so good to have you here. But so let's all say the Daily Dose out loud to each other right now. Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. I vow to step onto the stage of life, to keep it simple, to listen better, commit harder, and to give more expertly. It is my joyous burden to make those around me appear as rock stars, to support the ideas of others. I will move past obstructions, drop insecurities, and put my trust in myself and others. I will attempt to emotionally connect with whomever I meet. I say this in the spirit of best intentions. Yes, and. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you can go and look up on YouTube. You can search for Mega Team of Improv, and you can watch the original service of the Mega Church of Joy. Yes, and. Big Nick, I love you. Big Nick, where are you beaming into my face from? I would love to know a little bit more about you. And to our other viewer on Twitch as well, I would love to know a little bit about... Oh no, you are on Twitch. To our other viewers on YouTube from an Australian hot tub. That's amazing. Oh my God, what even friggin' time is it over there? Incredible. Big Nick. Big Nick in Big Australia. This is a big place. Now to our other viewers, where are you coming in from? And let's put a suggestion in the chat of anything at all. Suggestion colon, and then you fill it in. You suggest something, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. And while we wait for a suggestion so that we can have today's sermon, I want you to know that you are a rock star. That's right. Whatever you're getting ready to do today, or whatever you're getting ready to do tonight, or whatever time the heck it is in Australia, you are a rock star. You have skills that other people lack. You have qualities that other people admire. You are good at skateboarding. The concept of unconditional love follows the concept of fear. I think that this is a sermon idea, so we will take that. The suggestion for today's sermon is that the concept of unconditional love follows the concept of fear. How many of us were raised with unconditional love? And if we were raised with unconditional love, were we made aware of that? For you see, too often in life, the patterns that are passed down of hate and judgment and fear in this world that we live in lead to us being raised in households that do not make clear the great joy of unconditional love. For you see, we are afraid. Our parents are afraid. Their grandparents were afraid. And our great-grandparents to the 19th degree, well, their whole world was fear. Their whole world was just bare survival. Hunting and gathering and eating and drinking, collecting the sun's energy and turning it into progeny. And yet there was unconditional love in those stoic Irish households of the 1800s. There was unconditional love in those American prairie families where there were 12 children and they were beaten. The unconditional love was the fact of existence. The unconditional love was the sun's light beaming across 93 million miles to land on the patch of earth that you were surviving on, and to have the sun's energy sustain you so that your family, your ancestry, could be here today through you. That is unconditional love. And that unconditional love that generates more humans over time is born of connection. For without the connection that we all have to each other, we would not survive. And so that hidden unconditional love was really driven by fear. That inability to display that unconditional love, to imbue your children, to imbue you, to be imbued with unconditional love and to show it and to give it, that gift, to others. The inability to do that was driven by fear, because fear was having those parents throughout those generations focus on survival. Focus on doing whatever it was, whatever it took to keep you alive. And now sometimes parents abandon their children. And that is the opposite of unconditional love. And that abandonment is born of fear. And so, unconditional love follows from the concept of fear, because we cannot hope to achieve unconditional love unless we overcome our fears. Stick with me now, people. For we can only have one with the other, is what I am saying. The yin and yang of fear and love, and fear and joy. If we were not afraid most of the time, if we were not struggling most of the time, we would not end up experiencing moments of joy. If there was no tension in life, if there was no hatred or judgment or fear, we would find it impossible to understand the concept of joy, because for you see, joy is the absence of fear. Joy is the expression of unconditional love. Joy is unconditional love's roommate. And so what we know as improvisers, and we are all teammates and improvisers in the megachurch of joy, what we know is that if we practice our relationship with fear, we are better able to become beings who express unconditional love, because it is unconditionally loving to listen to one another. It is unconditionally loving to agree with one another. It is unconditionally loving to support one another. It is unconditionally loving to give gifts to the other, to connect with the other, to commit to the other, and to be grateful for the other. And so how will you practice unconditional love today so that you can live a life wherein there are more opportunities for joy? Yes, and For our life is nothing more than a giant field. And at either end of that field are goals. And when we score a goal, we experience joy. And so every day we head out onto the field and we practice. We practice so that we can roll the ball of our daily existence closer and closer to the goal. And the goal and its joy may be achieved only by a circuitous route. You know, you can't go Route 1 all the time. You might have to play out from the back. You can't expect to have a Ryan Gravenberch on every team that you're on who can just take the ball and turn effortlessly and drive the ball upfield towards the goal. You can't expect that. No. But we know as improvisers and teammates that we will never walk alone. Yes, and. And so, friends, that is how unconditional love and fear are intertwined. As we prepare for our day or our evening or the next day, and we think about the type of human and teammate that we will be, and we think about how we may provide support, how we may provide our energy, how we may commit ourselves to whatever scene we are in life, how we may give gifts to the other people in our scenes, how we may connect with them and be grateful for them. How will you be grateful today? I'd like you all to type into the chat one thing that you're grateful for. Yes, and. I will tell you as you type into the chat what you are grateful for. I will tell you that I am grateful for the parking space that I found because I had to move my vehicle today. And I found the parking space in New York City where this hot tub is located. We have alternate sides of the street parking. And I'm grateful because I got the spot so quickly that I was able to come here and I was able to commune with my fiance and get her some coffee. And then I was able to sit in a relaxed manner here. And it felt good. It felt good. It felt like after doing this for a couple weeks that I'm getting into a flow. And I finally have some other souls that want to connect, like Big Nick and like Mo in upstate New York. And I'm so grateful for you all, because you will help to grow this movement, because this movement needs to grow. When we look out at the world right now, we see a lot of pain and we see a lot of fear. And we know that we can be agents of joy, and we can be agents that allow other people to understand that they are just afraid, and it is okay to be afraid, for we are all afraid at all times. And as Nick has typed into the Twitch chat, so many people praying. Oh, fuck yeah, Mo's here too. So many people praying without hot tubs, and we need to spread a world. The hot tub industry is going to rejoice once the mega church of joy overtakes the Judeo-Christian tradition. When we have 1 billion followers around the world, there will be 1 billion hot tubs. A hot tub in every school and a hot tub beside every public pool. Yes, and. A hot tub at every public event. A hot tub in every public park. A hot tub in every airport and bus depot. That is the world that we strive for on the Mega Church of Joy. A hot tub in our souls. Mo has typed into the YouTube chat, grateful for the cold, snowy winter we are finally experiencing. Grateful for the environment and ecosystems that need sub-zero temps to thrive. And let us be grateful for those sub-zero temps while we still have them. Yes, and let us be grateful for the ebb and flow of nature as we tilt back and forth on an axis, floating around the sun, cruising at an impossible to perceive speed of 36 miles per hour that would rip our very faces off if we were to stand astride the atmosphere shouting Yahoo! We wouldn't be able to shout Yahoo because our heads would be ripped off of our bodies. And we are grateful for that. Grateful that the whatever particles that exist in the Horn of Africa, or I don't know, the Belt of Africa, are still able to float across the Atlantic Ocean and land in the Amazon, and vice versa. I don't know how it works, but I've read an article or two. We are grateful for life, is what I'm hearing today. And we are grateful for the hot tubs in our souls. Friends, now is the time for the moment of silent reflection on what scares the shit out of us. We will sit in our home in Australia. We will sit in our home, or heck, I don't know, maybe you're at an office park or you're at a Starbucks. Wherever you are, it's okay. And we will take a moment to reflect on our fears. Yes, and. Yes, and type your fears into the chat, and I will share my fear right now. I'll tell you, in my other work, I'll share two fears. In my other work that I do, none of this work pays me so far, and I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that I will pour all of this effort into avoiding having to have a real job for the first time in my life, pour all this effort into being an influencer who spreads love and joy, who also spreads high quality information and the understanding that we need healthy, fact-based information if we are going to survive this global authoritarian threat. And how do I get through to the MAGA? How do I get through to the people who do not understand that everything that they know about the world is told to them by others? Usually giant dickheads. For you see, giant dickheads own the means of information. And while there are many beautiful journalists who are committed to reporting in the public interest, they have to have jobs and they have to work for the big dickheads. So I'm grateful for the independent journalists, but what I will say is that I am afraid that this whole gambit I am making will not pay off. And it feels better to have spoken my fear. And I am at this time afraid for the world. Well, see, Big Nick, that is what I believe as well. Dude, Nick, you are funny, man. Have you ever done improv comedy? Because you are funny. That is funny shit. I love it. You remind me of a friend of mine. And you are a friend of mine. Now, Big Nick has typed into the chat. Well, I'll tell you what he said that was funny, and then I'll tell you about Big Nick's cheers so that we can all help Nick embrace his fear. Big Nick said words of support. He said, You will, and I'm assuming you're a he, you will get through to the masses not through fighting the dickheads, but through unconditional love and empathy for the lost MAGA souls. And I would say yes, and Big Nick, fighting the dickheads is unconditional love and empathy for the lost MAGA souls. And Big Nick also said they don't soak their souls in tubs like us, wise leader. Now, I am a leader, that is true, Big Nick, but not all the time. Because in improv, we know that we are on a team and we can't just drive the scene and only invest our ideas, because if we're only leading at all times, we're not listening. We're certainly not agreeing. So I do appreciate that, though. And so let's address Big Nick's fear. And then, Mo, I'm waiting for your fear. And perhaps I am so sexy that your hands are not free right now. That's my favorite new joke I have, and probably it's already getting old. But Big Nick's fear is a fear of rejection. And so we gather together and we say, fear, we are not afraid of you, for we know that you are nothing but a giant dickhead, a playground bully who is consumed by your own hate and judgment, by your own belief that you will somehow be comforted through hate and judgment, when we all know as teammates on the Mega Church of Joy that the true comfort comes from connection. The true comfort comes from sitting down beside each other and saying, I hear your fear. I know you're afraid. I feel you trembling. I appreciate and I recognize the vibration of fear that you have, that you might be rejected, that what you might say or do might not be good enough, that someone else, because of their fear, might reject you because they have yet to receive the blessings of the Mega Church of Joy. And know that it is nothing. It is no drain or problem for any of us to simply accept what is in front of us, to simply accept another person. Someone who might reject you, Big Nick, is just afraid themselves. Because as improvisers, we know that we do not reject the ideas or the humanity of others. We accept it, and we find ways to work with it, and we find ways to support and to give our energy and to connect and to give and to commit and to be grateful. Grateful in every moment that there is another human being opposite us to reject in the first place. And so therefore it is impossible to reject them because we are so grateful. Grateful that there is another human that we could commit to. And so it is impossible to reject them because we are committed to their humanity. Grateful, grateful, grateful for our fear of rejection, because our fear of rejection is a tool that we now have to get closer to joy. Our fears are our tools. Fear is our God. When we realize that fear keeps us from doing the thing, we have the ability to realize that we can break free from fear's embrace and move on to joy. Big Nick says in the chat, which I guess the Twitch chats do appear and the YouTube chats don't appear. And if anyone understands how the heck this OBS by the sea works, I would love your input. You know, I looked up all these videos, and these videos, I'm like, what do I do to get like the stream key into the doopy D? I'm using Restream, and I swear I cannot figure out how to get both chats into an overlay. Hassan Piker can do it. Why can't I? Big Nick says, I am grateful of my fear, which gives the soul the resistance to become strong enough for all that unconditional love needed on this earth. Copy and paste into my Mega Church Mega document. I am grateful for your wise words, Big Nick. Now, yesterday we said that we would leave here with a promise of commitment, a promise of committing to connecting, a promise to show the world that we are grateful for our connections by reaching out to someone, one of those people who exists in our brain that we sometimes think to ourselves, I should reach out to them. I love them. We may not even be conscious that we are having that thought because we love that person, but that is why we are thinking of them. And so Mo reached out to RB and I reached out to DK. Now, who will you reach out to today to connect with them? Could be the person that you see every single day. Could be the person who signs you in at the desk at the building you work in. It could be the person who, hands you your croissant when you go to the, global mega chain that serves you a croissant, or the local mom and pop that serves you a bialy. Nick says, today I gave to a giver. He gave them chicken liver. And though they did not like chicken liver, they said, thank you. I will use this to feed my cat. So who will you connect with today? I'm so grateful that we shared our fears, because when we speak our fears out loud to others, they become less powerful. When we walk straight up to the bully and we say, I am no longer afraid, or even when we just say, I am a little less afraid than before, we are taking one step into the scene of life where we can perceive and achieve joy. When we speak our fears out loud, we are popping a balloon. A balloon is full of gas, just like our bodies. And so a balloon is full of tension, just like our bodies. Shit, this is good. I can't believe I never came up with this when I was writing the Mega Team. There's a whole balloon thing in the original show. A balloon is full of gas, just like our bodies are. A balloon is full. Oh, I said ballon. A balloon is full of tension, just like our bodies. And so when we speak BB and CS, I love that. That's who Mo's going to reach out today. Bubble Butt and Cool Sam. Those are the nicknames I'm giving them. So Mo is going to reach out to Bubble Butt and Cool Sam, and who will you reach out to? When we name our fears, speaking our fear is like a pin piercing a balloon and releasing all of that tension and releasing all of that gas. When we speak our fears, we release a tension. And just like an explosion of gas from our butt, we are pushed forward into the scene of life, where we get that much closer to joy because we are taking a step forward. Despite our fears, we are taking a step towards overcoming our fear. Big Nick says even pop the balloon must be disposed of properly, else become a choking hazard upon the community. Yes, and We need to take care of our fears. We need to take care of the shell that contains our fears, which is our body. We need to take care of the shells that contain the fears of other people, which are their bodies. We encourage good health in the megachurch of joy. I am burping because I am letting go of my fears. Mo types in the YouTube chat, Bubble Butt and Cool Sam, I will share that with them. Yes, that is right. You will connect. Now, Mo and Big Nick, I am grateful for you. Mo says, wow, I really needed this daily dose of hilarity, and now here is the mission I give to you. This is not a grift. This is obviously, you can tell, an earnest effort by a man who has overcome his own fears in life to some degree. Not fully, certainly not fully at all. But I am working every day to push past obstructions and to push out gas. Yes, that's true, Mo. But so I need you, because eventually I do believe that this has the ability to grow into something so big that it could sustain me in a way that I could support myself financially. And I am not asking for any money right now, but I believe that if we grow this movement to 1,000 people, if we grow this movement to 20,000 people, if we are so lucky as to grow this movement, because I can already tell it's connecting with the two of you, if we are able to grow this movement to 100,000 people, and every single one of those people appreciates what I do and they give me $1, well, I would be able to do this much more often. I would be able to invest more energy into it. And so my simple ask of the two rock stars here, which I have asked previously, is to just tell one other person about the Mega Church of Joy. They can always watch these episodes at a later time. We can always, if we grow, do more episodes, do more sessions. Perhaps we start doing it on the weekend and we treat it as an actual religious service by scheduling it once a week. And we have more programming, and it is an hour and a half long, just like church. Or not, we don't know. I keep going over with these. So that is my simple ask of the two of you, if you would share it with other people. And I know I keep asking that, and I know that you, as teammates on the Mega Church of Joy, are interested in supporting me. All right, Big Nick. Now I'm getting a little scared. Big Nick says, your ask is my command, wise one. Yes, and. For I am the wise one. I received this wisdom on the shores of Boca Raton in 2014 when I tripped acid, and fear appeared to me in the visage of a dragon wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. And in my exchange with fear, I realized that fear himself was scared. And in that moment of revelation, I understood that fear was nothing more than a playground bully. Fear and I were friends because we could recognize the pain in each other. It's hard for fear to recognize that pain. Fear's only goal is to push pain. Fear's only goal is to make us all feel the way that he does. But we say no. Actually, no, we don't. I take that back. You never heard that. We say yes. We do understand that that is your goal, fear, and we will reject it on your behalf. We will guide you towards a better choice. We will guide you towards a world of support. We will guide you towards a world of just as we may be playing on a team in improv with someone who is very scared. Thank you, I figured it out. Mo says, I will witness to others. Big Nick says, if you can scare fear. Abby T10. Abby T10 jumped in the chat, and Abby T10 said something, and now I need to understand what is happening. I need the help of everyone else, and then we will close out the show. I love this. Maybe this is another Australian, Abby T10. Now, Abby T10 says, hey, mate, your energy. But here we go. Here comes my, because I assume they're Australian because they said, hey, mate. They could be British. That's true. But I'm going to assume they're Australian, and I'm going to treat y'all to my Australian accent. Okay, here we go. Abby says, hey, mate. Hey, mate. Your energy and content are top notch, mate. Keeping me entertained. No, that was British. Keeping me entertained, and I would love to be a big fan of yours if you don't mind. Kindly add me. Oh, that ad was good. Kindly add me. Add me. I can say that Australian. In Discord, mate. Abby TV. Now, Abby has asked me, that's my Australian accent. That actually could be a bit. I did that bit one time. I was at a wedding in India, and we were a big group, and for some reason I was like, hey, everybody, here's a game. Say a sentence, and I'll try to say it in an Australian accent. And I was so bad at it. You know, I can do accents. I am a performer. I apologize, but I am. And so I can do accents, but I'm terrible at an Australian accent. But here we go. Hold on, because we got to wrap this up. I got to save global democracy. Now, hold on. Can anyone tell me what the hell Abby means? I would love to be a fan of yours. Abby, it sounds like Abby already is a fan of mine, and so that's free. You can just be a fan. But don't kindly add me on Discord. Oh, Abby might be spam. Energy and content. I just thought that had to do with the tenets of. Wow, I got faked out because I don't understand, because I don't have a Discord. I mean, I do so that I can get. I do from the pandemic, because some of the improviser community here in New York City by the Sea, Boca Raton, whatever you want to call it, we would play like you don't know Jack on Discord, but I don't. Okay, so I'll move on from that, because we have a big revelation from Big Nick, and then we're going to go. We got to go. If you can scare fear, have you beaten the fear, or have you become fear itself? That's interesting. What I would counsel, Big Nick, is that our goal is never to scare fear. We are not like the television program Scared Straight, which is really just a perpetuation of the generational patterns of trauma, where the idea is that we will save young men by bringing them to a prison where hardened men who have done things out of fear in their lives will imbue fear into these young men who then will never do anything bad again because they've been shouted at by a scary individual. That is not necessarily the way of the mega church of joy. It could be a way, because we are improvisers and anything is possible. As Kevin Garnett once said, and which we are so grateful that he did. Anything is possible. He said that when he won the world championship with the Boston Celtics. But what I would say, Big Nick, is that, yes, and what I would say is that our goal is not to scare fear. Our goal is to love fear, to provide fear with so much support, to surround fear with so much support that it may be, and it will be scary to fear. Fear will be confused. Fear will be overwhelmed. Fear may lash out because he doesn't understand. And it's okay because no one needs to understand your love. They just need it. And of course, when we say a sentence like that, we have to say, no one needs to understand your love that you give with consent. But sometimes in a non-criminal setting, it's okay to give someone love without their being aware that that's what you're trying to do, without their being aware that they can receive the love. So we, teammates on the Mega Church of Joy, we give our love unconditionally. And we follow the fear. Unconditional but consensual love. I'm writing it down. We are building out the, what is it called? Unconditional but consensual love. And I might need to pay you eventually. Wait, what is it called? What is it called? Not the liturgy. Not the eschatism. What is it called? The canon, if you will, of a religion. What is it called? The lore, if you will, of a religion. What is it called? I know the word is on the tip of my tongue. Huh. All right, well, we will get there. These are supposed to only be a half hour. Can you imagine what will happen once we have 1,000 people? I guess they'll have to be an hour out of necessity. And that's okay, because we will be that much closer to joy. All right, everyone. I loved your questions because it helps to catechism. It helps to codify what we're doing here. Follow the fear and don't be a dick. Those are the two mantras of the Mega Church of Joy. Follow the fear and don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, yes, and I love you, you love me, we are a happy family. Doctrine could be. I'll figure it out. I appreciate that, Mo. The YouTube is about 18 seconds behind, just JSYK. I wish it weren't so, but it is, and so we accept it and we commit to doing the program anyway. So the sermon today was unconditional love follows from fear. And with unconditional love, we follow the fear on the Mega Church of Joy. And so we end with the symbol of the Mega Church of Joy, which is a circle that breaks free just before completion, because we know that in life, fear is what guides us, and fear keeps us walking the same patterns. We are afraid because fear tells us not to do the thing, so we just keep walking in a circle and we stay in the same scene in life. And so what we know as improvisers and teammates on the Mega Church of Joy is that in every scene, once a pattern no longer serves us, we are able to break free by embracing fear and stepping forward off the sidelines into a new scene where we have a new energy and we are in control of how much gratitude and support and love and such that we give others. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Thank you so much, live from Boca Raton, Florida, on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Standard Time. When it says UTC, I believe that's -5. I don't know. All right, I'm so grateful to the two of you and to the others who joined us today. Yes, and follow the fear. Bye-bye.